is needed.
Louisiana lawmakers passed legislation this week that will give survivors of child sex abuse more time to come forward with claims in civil court.
This window is going to change the future of children of today and unborn children.
It's been an emotional roller coaster for survivors, and I'm glad that at the end they finally have an avenue for justice.
We also spoke with Child U.S. Advocacy, a national nonprofit working on a movement to reform child sexual abuse statutes of limitations across the country. The group applauds Louisiana lawmakers for unanimously voting in favor of the legislation that will eliminate the civil statute of limitations for all child sex abuse claims.
Allowing victims to come forward when they're ready, when they're able to fully deal with the shame, the pain, any psychological trauma they may have, that is just good public policy and good law. And quite frankly, the children of Louisiana are much safer today than they were yesterday.
If the legislation is signed into law, victims with previously expired child sex abuse claims will also have 3 years to come forward in civil court.
Essentially, what this 3-year window does is it opens a period of time, 3 years, in which those that were previously barred by these archaic statute of limitations can then file suit. And that's really important because what that does is it allows individuals and the society at large in Louisiana to identify hidden predators.
Richard Women and John Anderson formed their own support group called Survivors of Child Sex Abuse. They say the legislation sends a message to other survivors in Louisiana.
That you are believed, that what happened to you is real, and people actually care. The state cares about it. The constituents care about it. Your fellow citizens care about this.
So this is what the message is that we're not going to tolerate it ever again. And I can tell you this, is that every child that needs help, we are here for you. And we want anyone at all that needs help to come forward. And let's get this done. Okay, let's throw out the trash forever.
We asked the Archdiocese of New Orleans how the new legislation would impact pending claims in the church's ongoing federal bankruptcy case. They didn't answer that question, but did say in a statement, quote, "As a church, we remain committed to doing all that we can for the healing of survivors of abuse. This legislation allows those abused not only in churches, at schools, but in their families, playgrounds, workplaces, youth organizations, and other public businesses where children and teenagers should be safe to pursue their claims in court regardless of when it occurred." We also received a statement from attorneys representing clergy sexual abuse survivors in the bankruptcy proceedings. They say, quote, "The Archdiocese of New Orleans ran from our lawsuits and hid in bankruptcy court. The Archdiocese has continued to beat up these survivors and tried to minimize the value of the 452 survivors' claims by constantly shoving the statute of limitations in their faces. No more." To read both statements in their entirety, just go to our website, fox8live.com, and look for this story. Lee.